All right, it's I think it's January 30th. Um, this is the state of the bike conversion. It's an old Norco frame that somebody had left by a trash bin. I thought, well, pandemic, desperate times, call for radical solutions. I can't quite afford a brand new gravel bike, but I do want to do some off-road riding. But my old mountain bike, my vintage Rockhopper, which is in the other room. In fact, I'll just show it to you. Just grab the camera. There we go. So, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, this Rockhopper has many miles on it. I started off with a rigid fork, and I was using it as a mountain guide to ferry loads up to a backcountry hut. Because within the park, although bikes were allowed and hiking was allowed, skiing, motorized vehicles were banned in the big park that we guided in. And I was doing backcountry skiing in the winter and mountain biking and mountaineering and basic guiding in the summer, scrambling and hiking trips, all that kind of stuff. So this bike went through a few iterations. Eventually I took the rigid forks off and went for a pair of shitty forks, but I did a bad job on the headset and it was really getting to the point where I had to deal with it. So that's a work in progress. I have a choice of I've repacked this once and lost a couple of the bearings, which I've now found, so I can basically jam those in here to finish the repack of that headset. I have drop bars on it. It's partway through a conversion. This is a 7-speed setup. The old wheel is on the other bike. So let's head back. We'll go through here. It's a small 1-bedroom apartment that I am in. And yeah, here's the... I've got some really $20 Amazon 9-speed shifters. I wanted to get like 7-speed, which would match perfectly with this. But this is just an interim, bare bones, see if I can get a bike that works. And I get a few gears. It'll almost be a fixie. So what's happened is this derailleur I think is a little bit high, but I do have it shifting. So I can go from the middle chainring to the big ring for road, and the little baby climbing ring, mountain bike ring. Right now I have this limited, so it can't go to that. And this is a 7-speed. This chain, I don't even think was meant to be with the bike. I think somebody had tried to rebuild this bike once. So somebody had either bought this as part of the police auction and was working their way through all the gear, decided, F this one's trash, and threw it out back. So I took a second shot at it, and yeah. It doesn't track perfectly, which would make me think that possibly the forks are not perfectly straight. I, quote, fixed them. They're pretty close. And it rides. Like when you are up here, it's not like it's pulling on you, but if you let go, you can't quite ride. It's not balanced enough to ride no hands. So, yeah, I need to work on that. But for now, I can get it to shift. I got to put down it's got brakes. Yeah, just put the camera down. So it does have a couple of gears. Needs adjusting still. Kind of likes the middle. Okay, so that's an easy pedaling. So that's second from the biggest freewheel in the back. Okay, a little tiny bit of chatter, it's not matching up, but this derailleur is just fucking bad. So it's an old, I cleaned everything up and just put the garbage group array back on. So I'm somehow getting a few gears. Most of the chatter is from this old chain. Like I have a new chain here. That's my goal right now. So I'm gonna try to swap out this chain. This might have to come down a little bit, but this is my Saturday afternoon. It's pretty shitty out. If I go out for a ride today, it'll be a cruise on this. Like, it's nasty weather. Having a high-speed crash on my road bike that I train on it's just hovering above zero and it's raining, intermittent rain, like almost freezing rain. So not to be a whiner, but I'm not 30, I'm not even 20, I'm over 50, so if I lay the bike down or get a flat, being out there for an hour ebbing around trying to get the tube changed, yeah, it wouldn't be fun. I get pretty cold. My cycling gear is pretty good if I'm moving. But anyway, this is getting to be a long video. I'm going to come back after I do so. I won't film me tweaking this thing, but I'll come back if I get the new chain on in a bit, and we'll see if that really quietens it down. This chain also is way too loose. So that's why I think it wasn't even the right chain for this bike originally. The guy just had the chain kind of part way on there. And yeah, so I'm gonna fix all that. These wheels were pretty snug getting into the dropouts from here and there. So I can get the wheels on and off, but it's a tight fit. So they're not exact. Not an exact match, and it could be just the little disparities between the manufacturers. You know, it's from a different bike. The hub's probably from a different era. Like, so they're out by about probably 15, 20 years in terms of when this hub was popular versus the original, I guess, late 80s kind of mountain bike. All right. Okay, second little test drive for this bike I built. Still a bit wonky, but it's got the Grupo on it that it was on it when it was in the trash. First tested the braking. Multi-use path. Okay. Okay, got through a couple of gears, so I can do some moderate climbing, I guess. Fourth freewheel down on the back, middle chain ring on the front, spinning. Interesting. Hit a little bit of road action now. Because I got basically a rat bike, gravel bike. You can hop curbs and stuff. Ooh, okay. Whoop, alright, change now. That one. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I can't really cross chain. Okay. I'm really thinking I should give the big ring a go. Holy fuck, eh? Try. I'm up on big ring. Wow. That's almost like a big road gear. That's real close. Wow, okay. Yeah, I could probably cruise 17K like this. I don't even have handlebar tape. Oh, fuck. Okay, green light. I got this speed. So yeah, a set of old mountain bike wheels. A vintage, I guess, late 80s Norco mountain bike frame. Basically reworked as a bit of a gravel bike, road style geometry and bars. And yeah, I'm out on the road. I don't have clipless. I just got a pair of hiking shoes on some pedal flats. Like, I could just commute. Yeah, I'm pretty much going to go to a little hardware store and see if they have fenders. That was the excuse for this ride. Not worried about the bumps. Oh, fuck. Pretty lively little ride for $100 trash bike. Wow. Bottom bracket hasn't fallen out. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video for a bit. Try not to get lost. Make the right turn. Okay. Okay, we're back after that annoying traffic light. I'm spinning along. Shit, I'm probably doing 18K here. Maybe a bit of wind. I'm up on the big ring and looking down at this shitty chain ring, this Sugino. It's the big ring is actually bent. I had a lot of trouble adjusting the derailleurs just to get a few gears. And as long as I keep the chain kind of in the middle of the shit, don't cross chain too much, I can actually kind of carefully whittle through the gears. So kudos, a fucking ancient non-indexing derailleur. I have it pretty much indexing through maybe 4 gears on a 7 cluster, nice and smooth. So there's about 4 gears on each ring that I can cycle through and get into a comfortable pedal cadence. So certainly not a bike I would race, but just with $100 worth of parts on an old frame and salvaging what parts I could, I've actually got a usable gravel bike. It's not a fixie. I can pedal backwards and nothing launches into the spokes. So yeah, I got a new chain on there. That was key. The old chain, although I could move the bike and go around the block, I wouldn't want to put any force on it or risk like riding out this far. So yeah, this first bit is a nice downhill cruise. Yeah, you can't take, yeah, you can do a moment hands-free, right, if you're careful, but I don't feel comfortable no hands this because it's not perfectly, the frame's been damaged a couple times, a few dings. So, but she's plenty aligned. I'm hitting 20K, probably going down that hill a little bit, so nothing radical. I'll probably never get this up to a harmonic speed where it'll cause like a massive speed wobble. I'd probably have to hit 60K for that to happen. Probably not going to happen on this big thing. All right, we'll come back in a bit. I'm going to do some roof finding. I don't know if I want to go on the dirt first or go fender shopping. It would make sense to go fender shopping on the way home after I'm all dirty. All right, good plan. I'm actually going to try to go right down to what we call Watershed Park and actually do a gravel trail and a dirt trail. All right, we'll be back in a bit. Okay, that front derailleur is really saving the day. Just like on the Cannondale, I'm able to fluctuate with my sort of track Criterium style gear. And spinning or slightly climbing gear. Really nice. Like right now I'm on the big rig. Probably should have switched gears, but like I say, with all kind of mismatched bargain basement gear, I'm lucky to just be gentle and be thankful for the gears I can get to smoothly. Should have milked the bike frame for maybe a month or two, and hopefully in the spring, if I end up riding this more often, yeah, I'll throw some better gear at it. Nicer wheels maybe. Yeah. So far, pretty shocked. I'm clipping along just like I feel like I'm on my road bike a little bit. I deliberately set it up with roughly the same position, like my saddle is the same distance from the center of the head tube, or the handlebars. I think it was the handlebars. Yeah. So my torso is roughly, I'm actually up a couple centimeters, like an Expedition style Mozzie or something. I mean, fuck, I could just write Mozzie on the side of this thing. Yeah, I'm kind of hauling here. I'm really stressed. Wow. Anybody looking at this bike would, yeah, thanks to the old school 80s mountain bike, had great road geometry. It's heavy steel. I could load this sucker up with 40 pounds of gear, head into the wilderness for a week. Yeah, I just gotta get a real Grupo. Maybe a whole new bottom bracket, but yeah. I think the spindle of this bottom bracket's a little blown out. I got it pretty tight and it's still got a slight wobble. So that's probably just a bearing shot a little bit. Worn out a bit. But hey, a little bit of love and attention and she's flying again. Look at this bike. Like, it almost wants to race. 24/7 overnight race. Like what's that race called? BC Epic 1000. That'd be hilarious to do it on this thing. Mostly logging roads. This thing would love that. Okay, I'm gonna stop and start the camera just so we don't have to do so much editing. Oh yeah. Well, first bike. Re-engineered. Your friendly neighborhood. Delta Devil Express again. Shit, I better slow down. Oh, dude. Almost flipped a little paper there. That would have put me down. Fishy on the big tires. I gotta remember I was going to the dirt, so I gotta remember to turn down here the opposite way that I normally do for this little road ride. Okay, I'm gonna be back in a bit. This is Kicksand Parkway, approaching Watershed Park. Some great beginner and intermediate trails in here. There's one there. bad. I can hit second gear on the middle chainring. Not too bad for this kind of cruisy gravel trail. Nice. Lower trail. So this is a Pinewood Trail. Saturday afternoon cruise. This is why I built this bike. Anybody could do this. $100 gravel bike. Yeah, with a few gears. Ooh, squirrel. I will start looking for a little, for the beginner single track. So yeah, second gear, a little bit of cross chaining there. Second gear from the second from biggest chainring in the back. Ooh, it's muddy in here. Ooh. I'd never be able to cruise through here on my Cannondale road bike. I missed this area because I knew the headset on my rock hopper was fucked up. I didn't want to keep riding it. I was afraid I'd crack the head too. So yeah, time to retire that for a while so I can put the original forks back on it. That's what I'll do. I'll just search eBay or something. And this is, wow, that's weird. This is close enough in positioning that just while I was blabbing, I went for my rival shifter. I went for my SRAM shifter, integrated with the brake hooks. Okay, I did a good job matching my position. I'm just a little higher up on the hand position. That's it. My torso and my leg stroke is very similar. Although the setup's a bit bent, like I can feel one of the pedal axles is bent. Fucking big ring is a little bent, but I adjusted I had to do a lot of micro adjusting of that front derailleur to get those, oh, I gotta breathe. I'm a chatterbox. Wow. Yeah, to get the range I wanted with a few gears on each ring. Doable. I'm able to climb. Looks like it would. Alright, turn the camera off right there. Turn the camera back on because I have no idea where I am. Aha. The water tower is off to the right somewhere. Uphill a little. Get some leg back. Oh, yeah. So if I can stay on the middle ring, I don't think chain slap will be such a big deal. So if I stick to like moderate, you know, where I'm not on that tiny ring and then flying with these little whoop-de-doos. So far so good, wow. Better be good. It took me 2 tries at the chain. Hello. I don't recall this trail, so it's been a few months since I've been in here. Yeah, nice on this trail. You maintain a good speed. Wow. Woohoo. Yeah, my first ever gravel bike.
growth out of a frame I find next to a trash bin during the global pandemic. $100 worth of Amazon parts. Later, and I'm flying through the world. Hi there. Is he friendly? He looks like he's gonna chase me. He will, eh? Hey, you want a race? Hope this is the downhill part. Oh, slippy though. Oh, yeah, that does work. I don't think I want to. Take me ready to do it. I think it's a little bit down there. Oh, fragile. Try this on your cat. This, I think, is called Red Goat Trail, and I'm not doing that. I am just going to put my foot down for the first time. Just very carefully. Not hurt myself. Okay. Yeah, I think it's 4. I mean, I'm here. I may as well see what this little bike can do. One hammer on me. Thank you. And yeah, I think I hammered my handlebars down a little over that big drop. Careful with it. I'll end up losing these handlebars. So note yourself. Don't go down random trails that could be